Hi there, I thank you for your interest in this computer that I'm going to build. I'm hoping that this video sheds some light on the components that I've used to make this machine. I'm just going to go through each component one by one, give you some information, and yeah, I think that'll be it for this video. So I think we'll start off over here on the left with the motherboard. The motherboard that I've selected is a B350 Bazooka by MSI. It's a very solid board. It's a first-gen Ryzen motherboard, but it's more capable than something like an A320. And so it's got a decent VRM, it's got pretty decent power delivery, and it's going to work really well with the processor that I've selected. And of course, I have the original IO shield to go with that as well. So that's the motherboard there. I'll let you get a closer look at it. You can kind of see, I'm trying to keep my shadow out and sort of see the cleanliness of it and the shape that it's in. It's a pretty good little board. The next component that I have here is probably the most important, obviously, if you're interested in doing some gaming with this machine. I've got an EVGA GTX 970, a very popular card from a few years back. It's still a really capable component for 1080p gaming. It has 4 gigabytes of DDR5 VRAM, so it'll be more than capable of playing most games at high, even ultra settings, depending on the title, and medium settings for the most newest games, something like Red Dead Redemption. And so, yeah, it's a pretty good card. It's in real good shape. It's the For the Win version that EVGA did, and it's really nice and clean. And I'm hoping that you'll enjoy it if you choose to buy this machine. The next thing I want to go over here is to look at the storage options that I'm putting into this device. The main, I guess you could say, data storage for things like games and things such as that. Everything besides the operating system, I suppose, will go onto this little guy here. It's a 7200 RPM, 250 gigabyte Seagate hard drive, regular physical disk hard drive. And then the operating system is going to go on this little guy. It's an M.2 SATA 128 gigabyte SSD, and that's going to be nice and quick. It's going to provide you that snappiness that you need as you're going through files and folders and things like that and getting things booted up. It's going to be nice and quick. It's a good little drive. It's an HP X400 128 gigabyte SATA M.2 drive. I suppose the next best thing to go to would be the processor itself, which you see sitting right here. This is the Ryzen 1600 6-core 12-thread processor, very popular. This is not the AF version that you may have heard about. This is a true first-gen 1600 6-core 12-thread Ryzen processor. Very strong, reliable, and popular CPU, perfect for doing gaming at 1080p and also a little bit of streaming if you're into that sort of thing. And I even have the original sticker that comes with that. And to cool that bad boy, we're going to be using this big honking thing there. It's a Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. That's going to go right on top of that processor, and it's going to keep the thermals good and under control. So if you're interested in doing some overclocking, this will help you to do that for sure. In combination with this motherboard here, I think it's going to be a good pairing. It'll keep it nice and cool under load, especially if you're running it at stock speeds, but it'll keep it real cool if you are choosing to overclock as well. As far as power goes, we're going to be using this. It's a brand new EVGA 450 watt bronze power supply. It is not modular. I think that's sort of a nice to have, but not a necessary feature. So I choose to just do like a regular sort of power supply with a good rating, with enough power, just so that we can save me some money and save you some money as well. So I think this is going to work perfectly with this build. It'll be nice black color, nice black cables, so we won't have a whole lot of ketchup and mustard going on if that's something that you are concerned about. So it should do just fine. To provide airflow in the case, I've got two just sort of basic case fans here. One is a Cooler Master case fan, and then the other one there is just sort of a generic smaller case fan that'll fit perfectly at the front intake area of the case that we're going to be using. I have over here just some of the boxes for some of these components, just because I like to keep those things laying around. So if you're interested in those, you can also have these with the build if you choose to buy this. I'll have another video later about the case. I'm still working on that one, getting it nice and clean and ready to go. And I also am waiting on the RAM to come in the mail. And we're going to be doing 16 gigabytes of DDR4, obviously. 16 gigs will be suitable for gaming. It'll be perfect for everyday use. Much better than 8 gigs. And we'll be doing dual channel, obviously, to get this processor moving at optimal speeds. And so, yeah, I hope this has been helpful to you. Just a short overview of most of the parts as we're waiting for a few more things to arrive. And I thank you for watching.